Why don't we tell secrets at a gin distillery? Because there's too much still in it. Now that might be a corny one, but it's all in good spirits. Pun absolutely intended. You see, a gin distillery is a place brimming with stories, but we're not here for secrets. We're here for the magic that transforms simple ingredients into that liquid elixir we all love, gin. With that said, it's high time we dive into the fascinating process of making gin. Ever wonder what's in your favorite gin cocktail? Well, it all starts with two essential ingredients, grain and juniper berries. Now, grain is the unsung hero of our gin story. It's the base that provides the alcohol. Without it, we wouldn't have anything to distill. We'd just be left with some rather fruity water. Not quite the same kick, is it? Then, of course, we have juniper berries. These little blue wonders are the heart and soul of gin. They give gin its distinctive pine-like flavor that we all know and love. Without these berries, well, we just have grain alcohol. And where's the fun in that? But it's not just about the grain and juniper. Other botanicals often join the party, adding complexity and depth. These can include anything from citrus peels to coriander seeds and even exotic spices. So we've got our grain and juniper berries ready. Now, what's next, you ask? Now onto the real magic of gin production, fermentation and distillation. Picture a world where grain is transformed into a delightful potion, where the ordinary becomes extraordinary. That, my friends, is the miraculous realm of fermentation. In this process, the grain is converted into a mash, which is essentially a warm, grainy soup. This soup is then left to ferment, and as it does, yeast gets to work, converting the sugars in the mash into alcohol. Now, this resulting concoction is not something you'd want to sip on a Saturday night. It's a rough, raw spirit. And it's far from the smooth, aromatic gin we know and love. But fear not, for distillation is here to save the day. Distillation is the superhero of the gin world, swooping in to refine and purify our raw spirit. The fermented mash is heated, and as it boils, the alcohol vaporizes and travels up through a column in the still. This vapor is then condensed back into a liquid, now a much purer, stronger spirit. But wait, there's more. We're not making vodka here, we're making gin. And what makes gin gin? That would be the juniper berries and other delightful botanicals that give gin its distinctive flavor. So we take our new neutral spirit and embark on a second distillation. This time the spirit is infused with juniper berries and a symphony of other botanicals. Coriander, angelica root, citrus peels, the list goes on. Each gin distillery has its own secret recipe, a blend of botanicals that gives their gin its unique character. As the spirit boils, it soaks up the flavors of these botanicals, transforming into the complex aromatic gin we know and love. The vapors carry these flavors up through the still, and once condensed, we're left with a high-proof gin. And voila, we have created our gin, but we're not quite finished yet. So, we've made our gin, but it's a little too strong to drink just yet. Unless, of course, you fancy yourself a fire-breathing dragon, then by all means, go ahead. For the rest of us mere mortals, we need to dilute this potent potion. Dilution is the process of adding water to our gin to bring down the alcohol content to levels that won't singe our eyebrows off. The exact amount of water added varies depending on the desired strength of the gin. It's a bit like making a cup of tea, but instead of adding milk, you're adding water, and instead of tea, it's gin. Once we've achieved the perfect balance of firewater and regular water, it's time for bottling. Our gin is poured into bottles, sealed up tight, and then they're off, traveling near and far, ready to be enjoyed by gin enthusiasts everywhere. There you have it, from grain and juniper berries to the bottle. That's how gin is made. So let's recap the journey of gin production. We start with a spirited mix of water, grain, and yeast. Next, the fermentation and distillation processes transform this into a high-proof alcohol. Our friend juniper then steps in, infusing its distinct flavor. Finally, the gin is diluted to its perfect strength before being bottled and ready for your glass. And remember, the next time you're sipping on a gin cocktail, you'll know exactly what went into making it. Cheers to that.